In part 7 of the 2026 Hurricanes opponent preview series, we will preview the Pitt Panthers, our opponent at Hard Rock Stadium on October 24th. This is year 11 of Pat Narduzzi's tenure in Pittsburgh. The season had rough starts and finishes, but a 5-game winning streak in the middle helped secure Narduzzi's 8th winning season in Pittsburgh. They ended the year with a eventual record of 8-5 and 6-2 in the ACC, despite beginning the season 2-2 and losing 3 of their last 4 games. While Pitt has been recognized for a strong defense under Narduzzi, the offense also performed well last season. The Panthers averaged 390.5 yards per game and 33 points per game, ranking 65th and 20th in the FBS respectively. As they look ahead to 26, the offense will see some changes but retains its key player. After starting 2-2, Eli Holstein was replaced by Nathan Heichnell, who played a crucial role in the team's 5-game winning streak. He finished the season with 2,354 yards and 16 touchdowns to 8 interceptions, mostly in just 9 games. Heichnell is set to be one of the top quarterbacks in the ACC for the 2026 season. And by the way, if I butchered the name, please, I apologize. Although Pitt's leading receivers, Raphael Williams and Kenny Johnson, have departed, Heichnell still has reliable targets. Returning players Cataris Hicks, Censure Lee, and Bryce Yates are expected to step up in bigger roles. Additionally, you add in Western Carolina transfer Malik Knight, and you have a very good receiving core. However, they may see less production from the tight end position this year and has limited depth at wide receiver beyond those 4. They have a history of using their running backs effectively in the passing game. Last year, Kavarian Turner stepped up significantly after Reed's injury. He finished with 745 yards on the ground and 7 touchdowns, along with 25 receptions for 150 yards. That led the team in total yards from scrimmage. Lavelle Wright, who contributed 559 total offensive yards and 11 touchdowns at Western Kentucky, will be a solid backup. This duel of versatile backs is expected to play a crucial role in advancing the Panthers' offense both on the ground and in the air. However, the performance of the offensive line could complicate matters, as it was poor last year. They allowed an average of 3.38 sacks and 6.15 tackles per loss per game. That was 128th and 111th in the FBS respectively. Now, on a positive note, they did retain 4 of their 5 starters. Left tackle Kendall Stanley, center Ryan Coretta, right guard B.J. Williams, and right tackle Ryan Baer, with Keelan Davis from Akron stepping in as the new starting right guard. The starting left guard. While this continuity is beneficial, this could be problematic if this line does not improve. Now, let's go to a Pitt strength under Narduzzi, and that's on the defensive side of the ball. Although they didn't have an elite season defensively, their performance was still very commendable. They finished 32nd in FBS in total defense, allowing 330.4 yards per game, but their 24.6 points allowed per game was 67th. And they will lose several top defenders, yet there are players ready to step up. Pitt's defensive line managed to keep most of their starters. Jimmy Scott, 18 tackles, 8 for loss, 4.5 sacks, and a fumble. And Isaiah Neal, 36 tackles, 7 for loss, 3.5 sacks. And they form a strong pair on the edges. In the middle, you have Sean Fitzsimmons, 25 tackles, 3 for loss, and 1 sack. And he's in the middle there. Along with Nick James, 22 tackles, 7 for loss, 2 sacks. Set to make an impact as a new starter on as defensive tackle. Now, while the depth may not have much production, Narduzzi knows how to maximize his player's potential and get the most of what he has. The linebacking group in the 4-3 will see the most changes. Raheem Biles and Kyle Lewis, who played key roles in Pitt achieving the 5th most tackles for loss in the FBS, are gone. Nevertheless, the middle of the field should remain strong for Pitt. Braylon Lovelace, who is the team's third leading tackler with 80 tackles, including 5.5 for loss, 1 sack, 2 interceptions, is coming back to the Seal City. Alongside him is Cameron Lindsay, 32 tackles, 5 for loss, 2 sacks, and 1 fumble. DeMarco Ward from Memphis, 63 tackles, 3 for loss, 2 pick sixes, and a fumble. And Alex Sanford from Purdue, 46 tackles, 3.5 for loss. This gives Pitt a strong group of linebackers. The only concern for Pitt's defense was the secondary, which allowed 235.3 yards in the air per game last year, which was 99th in the FBS. However, on paper, they have a solid lineup of defensive backs. They do get Shadarian Harrison back, 30 tackles, 3 pass breakups, and 2 turnovers. And Sean Lee, 31 tackles, 4.5 for loss, and an interception. And joining them is Rayon Strader from Auburn, who had 53 tackles, 2 interceptions, and 18 pass breakups in 2024 at Miami, Ohio. And it's looking for a comeback season. At safety, you get Cruz Brookins, 53 tackles, 2 interceptions, and 2 pass breakups, leading that group, while Alan Bryant with 16 tackles and Josh Guerrier, who redshirted, aim to improve their performance. Overall, Pitt has the potential to be a team that could create some excitement. The performance of the offensive line is a significant concern to be sure, and the secondary needs to improve. But the Panthers possess talented players in key offensive positions and in their front seven on defense. Although this game will be played at home at Hard Rock, and after a rivalry game the previous week, it could prove challenging for the Canes depending on how Pitt's season unfolds. Now, from a Canes perspective, we know the matchup is going to be physical, high-stakes contest, especially for the Canes, who could be undefeated at 6-0 or at worst 5-1 coming in my opinion. And with Notre Dame in South Bend in 2 weeks, this will be a tough test for the Canes at home, so they need to handle business against an always tough Pitt D. Now let's look at the predictions for the Panthers. The positive. The section below about the teams Pitt will miss in the ACC is the most significant highlight. They start with 4 consecutive home games. The non-conference looks decent, and there's a very good possibility they could be 7-0 before coming to Hard Rock. The latter part is going to be the issue. Beginning with the game against the Canes at Hard Rock. And that's after three games on the road in 4 weeks, playing at Louisville and at Cal, playing at Louisville and Cal in the final 2 weeks will be tough. Here's the teams they will not face: Clemson, Duke, NC State, SMU, Stanford, Virginia, and Wake. The best and worst case scenario: best case, early setbacks. They navigate the beginning of the schedule smoothly. They secure a victory against Vatech and Blacksburg. They overcome Carolina and prepare for a crucial game at Hard Rock against the Canes. There may be one loss, but the Panthers managed to defeat Georgia Tech and FSU at home, win against Louisville on the road, and arrive at the Cal game with a shot at the ACC championship. Worst case, they replicate last season. An unexpected setback occurs early with the loss to Vatech on the road at Blacksburg, and they managed to win enough games in the middle of the season to stay in contention but falter late in November. They dropped 2 of their final 3. The 3 games that will shape Pitt's season: at Vatech, October 2nd. And yes, there's some bigger games ahead, but this is crucial early to see where Pitt is. A win here, again, Pitt could go 7-0 coming into Hard Rock on the 24th. Number 2, of course, when they come here. They may doubt Pitt's chances in this game, but a victory could turn this into a remarkable season. And at Louisville, November 21st. Last year's opener, Louisville beat Pitt. And losing again could create some serious issues with a tough trip to Cal looming to close. My projection for Pitt in 2026, I have a feeling they're going to win 10 games. That defense is still very good, and I think they could come together. But I'm going to go 10-2 for Pitt in 2026. In Part 8 of the Opponent Preview Series, I will preview the North Carolina Tar Heels.